4 or 5 guys just standing around in the lab, and I was going to show labels on containers. So this is exciting. So, you know, I put out an article last week in the Aviso. People don't always read those things, but it is true that we don't always read the labels on chemicals. We know the labels. We know what we're working with, right? You're working with HF. You've been working with it for years, so you don't read the label. Or at home, you're working with bleach, sodium hypochlorite, so you don't read the label because you know about it. But that's not true for everybody. Some people are young. They've never worked with hydrofluoric acid before. Maybe they're young, they've never worked with bleach before. Well, now you guys, you're the leaders. And so you need to know this new system of labeling so you can teach the new people coming up behind you how to know the hazards of the chemicals that they work with. And this is true even for your children working with, how do they know that bleach under the sink, they shouldn't drink it? Well, because there's a label on it. Okay, so there's a new labeling system for all chemicals all over the world. Okay, it's all over the world. It's coming out starting December 1st of this year, and there's a 3-year transition period, and all chemicals will be labeled this new way. Okay, all chemicals. So let me just show you a couple of things. Do you recognize these labels? You guys recognize it? This is the way we label things now. This is the, you know, there's numbers in here like 2 or 3 or 4. This is the old system, and this was, here's a good one. Blue, I've given this talk a million times. Blue is health, and the numbers are from 0 to 4, where 4 is a high hazard, and 0 is a low hazard. So health 3, that's pretty high. Not a scale of 1 to 10, it's 0 to 4. 4 is a high hazard for flammability. So 4, this might be like aviation fuel or something, ethyl ether, something very flammable. And 3 is reactivity, how reactive is something like sodium borohydride or ammonium nitrate or something like that might be a 3. And this down here is a W. Well, the problem is with this system, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just unless you've been trained to know that it's a scale of 0 to 4, not 1 to 10, you wouldn't automatically know what the hazard is. Also, this is only good in the United States and Canada. So it's not worldwide. So if I want to ship something to China or to France, I have to have different labels. Now the United Nations has come up with a different system that we've adopted, the United States has adopted it, for all labels. And it's this system. Please find it here. Okay, can you see that? So, it went away. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, why is it in German? Or in Dutch? Because it's global. It's global. Okay? It could be in any language. Well, let's work in German, okay? So what do you think? Can you read this? What do you think this is? You know, it's got burning his hand and the pipe. It's corrosive. So this corrosive is all over the world. This symbol means corrosive. It doesn't have to say anything. The old labels used to have to say corrosive, or there'd be an 8 or something like that. This symbol means corrosive. What do you think this means besides put down or whatever?
Flammable.
That's flammable. This one is not so obvious, but this means it's a health hazard. It's a health hazard, which is different from this one. This one is what? Poisonous, okay? Health hazard, poisonous. Compressed gas, explosive hazard. This one is a little tricky. It's flammable, but with an O. Any guesses? Oxidizer. This is an oxidizer. This is an environmental hazard, and this is an irritant, okay? So these are the labels all over the world, starting next month, they're going to be used. Okay, oh, now they're in English. Okay, that's actually a good picture too. So this is something that might be carcinogenic. You know, it's not immediately fatal. So here's the reason for these labels. I mentioned your children. These are the labels they're going to see. For all their lives, they're going to know that this means poison. Now, this is not new, but what is new? It will always have a red border, okay? Because red attracts the eye. So all these are standard. These are the labels that are going to be on your motor oil, your hydrogen peroxide for your children, the laundry detergent. Everything you buy is going to have these pictographs on it all over the world. So you do have to know them because they're new. This is brand new. What does this mean? Environmental hazard. So we know what that means. Environment, you see the dead fish? You see the dead fish? So you see the label, but then you're going to have to teach your new students, what does that mean? Well, if it's got a dead fish on it, it means you can't pour it down the sink. Because there's the Missouri River right there. There's going to be fish floating on top of the Missouri River. So you see the label, and you modify your behavior. Okay? This is called hazard communication. Have you guys heard that term before? HAZCOM? So here's the rule. Here's the way it works. We have, I don't know how many students we have working with chemicals, chemistry, biology, physics students, 1,000 students, whatever, I don't know. And those students are working with 300 or 400 different chemicals, I don't know. We can't teach them all. We can't say, here's hydrogen peroxide, don't drink it. Here's sulfuric acid, don't pour it on your hand. Here's nitric acid, don't mix it with organics. We can't do that. There's too much information. So the way we communicate the hazards, the way we tell our students, and the way manufacturers tell you what the hazards of chemicals are, is with these labels. So if you come and tell me, Kevin, I drank the chloroform, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. You didn't tell me I couldn't drink chloroform. I will say, yes, I did tell you. Because this is on the bottle. If that's on the bottle, then I've communicated with you. So the manufacturer of the chemical has a responsibility to put that label on the chemical bottle. But you have a responsibility to read the label. So everybody who's a grad student or a postdoc or something, right, has already got a degree. So when you're working with young people, do they always read labels? Well, one of the things, if you have students working for you or that you're directing, supervising, is you need to make sure they read these labels. You don't have to tell every student the hazard of every chemical. You don't have to. You do have to tell them to read the labels. Okay? That's clear enough, right? So that's the system all over the world starting now. I said I'm going to take 2 or 3 minutes. I'm almost done. I want to show you one more thing. Let's see. When I looked at this before, there was I can't read, it's too small, but any language, there's, we buy chemicals from all over the country, all over the world. Here's, what's this one from? I don't know what that language is. But everybody's using it. The wording might be different, but this is the same. I don't know what this chemical is, right? It doesn't have to be in English. But this, no matter where it is, it's going to have those labels. Okay? So you do need to know those 10 labels. But I think they're pretty clear. Was there anything you didn't understand? Here, the exclamation mark, irritant. I love the dead fish. It's perfectly clear. Okay, I'll go back to it one more time, just for a second. Well, that's the German one. Okay, so are all of those clear? Oxidizer, explosive, flammable. Okay, this can be on everything you buy. It'll be on cans of Coca-Cola, right? It'll be on everything soon. All right, I want to show you one more thing, then I'm done. And that is, on the MyU portal, let me close some of these others. So we have the safety data sheet. Anybody know those safety data sheets? You got them in your binder, the material safety data sheet. The labels provide quick information for you and your students on the hazards of a chemical. But there is more information if you want it. And that's called the safety data sheet. So this is hard to find. Okay? Anybody here really like the portal? I love the portal. Oh, okay, good. So it's hard to find. I don't love it either. Health and safety. Okay. Then you got to go all the way down to EHS resources. That's environmental, health, and safety. And then material safety data sheets. So it's not easy to find. And then you can search for a chemical. So acetone. And it will bring up the safety. Well, the problem is it brings up everything with acetone. Here it is. Okay. Where to go? I clicked the wrong thing here. I meant to click on the, there it is. That's the safety data sheet. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, that's the safety data sheet. That's the, oh, see, look, that's the pictograms on it now. Okay? So this has, if you want to know, I'll work with acetone, what's its boiling point? Or how, what's its density? If you go to this sheet here, the safety data, the material safety data sheets, it has all of that information, the health hazards, the formula, what to do about the fire, what to do if you spill it, okay? What the personal protective equipment you should be wearing is. I'm not going to read all this to you, I just want to let you know where it is. The boiling point, the flash point. So, I know I went kind of fast, but I just want to make sure you knew that was there. You can also go to, if you're on the portal, I don't know how to get there now. If you're on the portal, you could just do the search for MSDS and it'll bring this up. It's hard to find, I know. Okay? All right. So, what I was going to show you was, well, it's all gone. Oh, there it is. This EHS resource page, okay? So that has a lot of handy tools that, you know, how to use autoclave, how to take gloves, material safety data sheets, safety in laboratory, acetic acid safety. Oh, let's see if there's a HF, hydrofluoric acid. Here's a sheet of just how to work with hydrofluoric acid. Can you see I put Charlie Coyote on there? Can you see him? Can you see the background? Charlie Coyote is in a lab coat. You guys know Charlie Coyote from the parade? Well, it's a little hard to see him there. There he is. He's cute. So, anyway, I just want to let you know those things exist, okay? That's all I had to say. If you have any questions, you can always call me. You talk to us, get a hold of me. I'm always available. So, any questions? Well, I'll start all over.
I have a question. So, all the bottles that are already labeled with the previous,
Those are still legal.
those are still legal,
Yep.
but they have to be changed.
No, they don't be changed. It's
I mean,
just that
there's a 3-year grace period, you said?
you can't, a 3-year grace period for the manufacturers.
Oh,
You can have bottles, we have bottles here from the 1940s. Yeah, they're still legal, perfectly legal.
Yeah.
So the new bottles that we get will start being labeled with the new labeling system.
Okay.
That's, we were just talking about the global harmonized system. Okay, so a lot of us know about it.
Yeah.
So I thought we would all be standing around in little groups. I brought samples of them. But I know that you've got chemicals in the labs already that have these pictograms on them. I know they already exist. So I only brought 3 or 4, but I'll leave them up front here, of what those labels are. So you can Xerox them, memorize them, do big flashcards and test each other. What's this one? Oh, dead fish, don't put it on the sink. Okay? All right, so I'll leave these out here for you. Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much for making time. I really appreciate that. It shows that you guys are interested. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.